Hello. Hello. Okay. It's 12 o'clock. Hello. It's 12 o'clock. Okay, so hi guys, and welcome to ADK-TS Hackathon workshop. So my okay, done. Okay, so that's better now. I could hear myself echoing. So as I was saying, welcome to the ADK-TS Hackathon workshop. My name is Timowa, and I'm the developer for IQAI. So IQAI is the owner of ADK-TS, which is the hackathon you are participating in, and ATP, which is the agents tokenization platform. So ATP is the platform where if you have any agents and you like to add tokens to them and allow your community to participate in the ownership of your agents. So you can do that using the ATP platform. So I will include links to it in the description below. So this workshop is for, like I said, is for the hackathon. This is our Fox workshop, and we're supposed to be, sorry, and I'm expecting that most of us would have already started building our projects, or some of you are yet to start building your project. So maybe you just joined in the hackathon and we're like, this is the second week of the hackathon. So some people have already started building and some are still yet to build. Maybe you're deciding on what agents to build or how to go about it. So this hackathon is going to tell you, we're going to talk more about the hackathon, maybe because some people have been asking, like, they don't understand exactly what the criteria for the, what's it called, the tracks, both the main track and the sub tracks, and some other questions. And then I'm going to also be sharing with you some of the resources that we have. Like, we have some starter templates that you can use as your boilerplate code to build your agents, and so many other things too. We're also going to talk about our CLI. So our CLI is going to help you in managing your agents, whether it's to run it or to test it or in development. So let's get started. So let's first of all do a quick recap on the hackathon details. So the hackathon is hosted on Dora Hacks. So, and I guess that's where most of you have registered for it. And it's a 4-week hackathon that is globally. So for developers, non-developers, AI, Web3, whichever space you are in, the hackathon is open to you. And it's, like I said, it's for 4 weeks, and we started, I think, last week. So it's still ongoing. And then the price pool is $4,000 in USDC. So if you are to win any of these categories, you would have to provide like a USDC or USDT wallet address for your money to be sent. And we have 3 main tracks and 5 bonus tracks. So the first main tracks is the MCP expansion, the agent application, and the Web3 blockchain use case. So that means that if you are going to be building an agent and you want to like participate, you want to win any of the 3 prizes here, so you would have to your project has to fall. Please hold on. So your project has to fall in any of these categories. So the first one will be agent application. So that's basically building an AI agent with the ADK-TS framework. ADK-TS stands for, I forgot to tell you the meaning. ADK-TS stands for Agents Development Kit for TypeScript. So it's like Google's ADK, but this is for the TypeScript community. So you're going to qualify for the agent application track. You have to build an AI agent that fully utilizes the ADK-TS framework. That's the basic criteria for this track. The track for the MCP expansion means that you are going to be building not just an AI agent. Maybe you're going to be building custom MCPs for your agent. So you might not build an MCP server, a custom MCP server, or use any of our default MCP servers. But to qualify for this one, you have to build your own custom MCP server. So maybe you have a particular tool or platform that you might want to use, and then maybe you want to connect to their own MCP servers, or you want to build your own custom one. So if you do that, you qualify for this track. And the third one is for the Web3 blockchain use case. So that means that, let's say the agents that you are building is built on the blockchain, or it's Web3 focused. So if it is Web3 focused or it connects to the blockchain, then you qualify for this track. So, and when you are submitting for each of these tracks, you can only submit one project per track. But if you want to, you can submit the same project for different tracks if they qualify for those multiple tracks. But it is only one project per track. And the next one is for the bonus tracks. So the bonus tracks is, aside from these main tracks, we still have additional ones that you can qualify for. So like example is the most practical reward use case. So if you build an agent that solves real problem or that people would actually want to use, then you qualify for this track. And then the next one is best bolt integration. So maybe you build an agent that connects to maybe Telegram or Slack or Discord, or even GitHub. So the best bot that was built can qualify for this track. And the next one is best collaboration stroke team agent or SP. So a lot of people were having some confusions about what exactly this means. So what this means is that, let's say you build an agent and the agent has sub-agents under it. Like for example, maybe you're building a writing assistant, and that writing assistant has like sub-agents under it. You have a root agent, the main assistant agent, and you have sub-agents like research agents, writing agents, editing agents, publishing agents. So if all those sub agents now are going to like connect with each other, so that's like a collaborative or team agent, because it has different sub agents under it or MCPs under it connecting to different MCPs. So the agents with the best collaboration agents will also win $200. And the next one is the best implementation. So the best technical implementation means that the agent that uses ADK-TS well, like you don't just use the framework, but you utilize almost most or or at least half of the features and tools and servers that were there. But you can't use all the MCP servers, but you use most of the tools, the features, and everything. Like you really use ADK-TS. And the last one is best contribution to ADK-TS. So this one is about not just participating in the hackathon, but also contributing to the framework itself. So it might be that you want to contribute an MCP server. Maybe you built one and that you like to include to our framework as a custom server for ADK-TS, or maybe you want to contribute a template, or maybe you found some bugs inside it and you might want to help us to fix those bugs or something. So if you make if you make the most meaningful contribution to ADK-TS, is also going to qualify to win $200. So we've talked about the tracks here. So if you go through this, you also see some examples that we dropped for 8 tracks. Then eligibility. So like I said, the hackathon is open to participants from all around the world, and you can either be a solo team or have a maximum of four members in your team, and you have to register. Each of your team members have to register on Dora Hacks for them to qualify. So you can submit it. You can submit the project. You can submit your build or your project. Maybe one person can submit for all of you, or one person can submit for all of you, but all of you have to register on Dora Hacks. And when you are building your agent, you have to your core code has to be written during the hackathon. But you can also use you cannot use projects that you've worked on before, but you can use starter templates. Like for example, we have starter templates that you can use. So I'm going to talk about that later in the video. But you can also use, let's for example, you want to build the Next.js app now, or an Astro.js app. So those ones have starter templates that you can modify and work on. So you are free to use all those boilerplates or starter codes for your agent, but the main code for your agent has to be written during the hackathon. And like I said, one submission per each track, but you can submit into different tracks if your project qualifies for more than one track. Now, to submit your hackathon, or to ensure that your agent qualifies for to be picked. So when you are submitting your agent, you have to submit the code for the agent using whether GitHub or GitLab. So you can use GitHub or GitLab and submit the link to the code base, but ensure that the repo is public so that we'll be able to access it and view your code. And the next one is to record a demo. So when you're recording your demo, it has to be maximum of 5 minutes, because there's going to be a lot of videos that the judges are going to watch. So please let it be maximum of 5 minutes, and let your demo video be very insightful in the sense that from start to finish. So how does your agent work? What does it do? So if you have to log in, show us how the steps is, like from signing up to logging in, to whether you are going to click the start button, to ask your agent a question and then get your answers, show the features or other things. So let the judges or the person watching the video be able to understand what exactly that agent does. And then you can host your video whether on YouTube or on Loom or on Google Drive. But if you host it on Google Drive, ensure that the URL is set to view. So view all. Yeah, it's not restricted, so that we'll be able to access the video. And the next one is to add a description of how you used ADK-TS. So how was ADK-TS used to build your agent? what tools did you use, what servers did you use, did you build custom MCPs, did you use any of our built-in tools or the rest. So that's what the discussion part is about. And what else again? A live demo. So if you want to host your, if you are hosting your, well, it's not compulsory, but it's going to make sense if you host your agent somewhere, if it's possible to host it, and share a link for us to, for the agents, for the judges to also be able to test the agents. And then if you have any other relevant links that you might want to add, whether you did some design, you did some what do they call it, research, or whatever it is, if you anything that you think is useful for the judges to go through, you can also add those relevant links. So that's it about the criteria and requirements for the hackathon. So the next thing we'll be talking about is the templates that we have. So like I said, ADK-TS has a different templates that you can choose from. We have the Discord bot, we have the Hono server, MCP starter, Shade agents, simple agents, Telegram bots. So these are some of the ones that we have, and you can access them through the ADK CLI. So you can access them easily through the ADK CLI, or you can also come to our GitHub repo to go through them. Maybe you can just download them as a zip file and use it on your system. And we also have a new one that we just published, which is called the X42 agent. So for the templates are created to serve different like use cases. Like for example, we have bots, right? So if you are trying to build a bot, we have the Discord bot, we have the Telegram bot. So it's like a starter template for you to like work on or modify to build your own agent. We also have the simple agent. So that's just the simplest form of agent you can have. So it's the bare minimum agent. So it does not really have complex example like that. So if you want to like start from scratch, you don't need any templates. You should choose the simple agent. We also have the MCP starter. So if you want to build an MCP or you want to have a custom MCP on your templates, you would choose the MCP starter template. Or let's say you want to build a web app. So maybe you want to build a web app and you want your excuse me, and you want your agents to be served through a server. You want to be able to you want your front end to be able to access your agents through your backend server. So you might choose the Hono server as your template to work on. Then we also have Web3 agents templates that you can choose, which is like the Shade agents and like our X42 agents. So the Shade agent is about using the near shade agent. So you are using the near shade agent with ADK-TS and combining it in a way to like build a secure way to access blockchain, access your wallets and stuff like that. So it uses the near shade agent, it uses the T-Fala cloud. So all those things and it has an example. All the templates have examples that you can run. So it's the templates are not like a full-blown AI agent. It's just something simple to help you to get started. So each of them has simple agents that you can use to test and run and see how it works to help you. And then the last one is the X42 agent. So the Coinbase recently released X42 protocol. So it's like a way for you to make payments. Some I think like automatically make payments on this 402 code, payments required code. So it's like using IQ AI with this X42 agent on Web3. So it's like, let's say for example, you know how Medium works, where if you want to read a an article that has that is behind the paywall now. So maybe if you click on the article, if you have a subscription, it will automatically um open it for you, or it will pay for it, and you'll be able to access it. So this is how this template tool is about. So it has a simple example where if you want to access an article, it will automatically pay for it, pay the money for you, whether it's an article or an endpoint or something that makes you to dictate like small money, so small crypto, maybe it's like 1 cent or 2 cents. So instead of using it just makes it easier for you to like automatically make payments on the blockchain without any custom setups like adding APIs and endpoints and stuff like that. So we have different um variation of templates that you can use to build your agent. And the next thing we're going to talk about is our CLI. So like I said, if you want to access all these agents, all these templates, you can easily access them. You can easily access them from our CLI. So that is, yeah, if you go to our documentation, you'll see everything you need to have, everything you need to use our CLI. So to install it, you can install it using any of your preferred npm packages. The key features helps you with development and testing, production deployment, and improves your developer experience. So with the CLI, you'll be able to like communicate with your AI agents using, we have like, you can communicate through the console, the terminal, or our custom, what's it called? Custom web interface. So let's see, we have, how many commands do we have? We have ADK new, which is for creating a new agent. So when you run, if you have the CLI installed on your system and you run ADK new, it's going to go take you through a list of steps where you choose what type of template you want to start with, and other stuffs like the name or the package manager that you would like to use. So if you don't want to install the CLI, you can just also run this code here, which is going to do the same thing. And then we have ADK run. So ADK run is, when you run it, it allows you to chat with the agents via the terminal. So it searches for all the agents that you have on your system. So if you have just one, it's going to show you the one that you have and run it for you. Or if you have multiples, it will tell you to choose the agents that you would like to communicate with. And if you select the path to the particular agent, so instead of it telling you that, okay, these are the list of agents you have, which one do you want to interact with? You can just set the path and say, okay, I want to interact with a particular agent. And then you run the code, and it shows it for you in the terminal, where you can ask questions and stuff like that. Something like this, like ADK run. Yeah. So as you can see, it shows you your agent, which is the type of agents that the agents that you have. I have only one agent on this code, and then you are able to like send messages and communicate with your agents. So the next one is ADK web. ADK web is almost the same thing. The only difference is that instead of chatting in the terminal, you chat using what's it called, the UI interface. So something like this. So it shows, this is where you have access to all the agents that is in your project, and you can have access to it through this website. So it's going to listen. If you run ADK web, it's going to listen to this localhost 8402 when you visit this website. So if this is live, it's going to show it here, and then you'll be able to chat with it. You'll see that if I were to cancel this now, Let me see. So it's trying to connect to our ADK server. So because this is not running, it could not communicate to our server to get all the details about our agents. So you'd have to make note of that too when you're trying to run ADK web. Same thing with ADK serve. So I think ADK serve just allows you to chat with the endpoints, or yeah, I think it allows you to chat with, it gives you endpoints to access your agents, I believe. I'm not sure about that. So let's see, we've covered the agent templates and we've covered how to use the ADK CLI to interact and test your AI agents. So the next stop is tools and MCPs. So like I said, we have many built-in tools that you can use and MCP servers that you can use for your AI agents. Like for example, we have Google Search, we have Google Search, we have the file operations, we have the HTTP request, we have user interaction, load memory, and load artifacts. So if you would like to, like, if you want your agents to access the web, you might want to use our Google Search tool, which will allow you to ask Google to Google search different things for you and return the return the information for you. Let's see, import Google search from ADK, then search to Google search, like that, like that. Then what else again? File operations tool. We have the file operations tool also, which allows you to manage files. So whether you want to create a file, you want to read a file, you want to edit a file, you can check out the file operations tool. So same thing with the HTTP request tool. So the HTTP request to, let's say you want to like interact with like external APIs. You want to call APIs for another tool that you're trying to implement with your agents. So you might want to use this to make it easier for you to communicate with all those APIs. And it allows you to do um, different methods, and you can also be able to manage the header, the request body, the query parameter, set your timeouts and everything. So it also gives you let's see, use cases, API integration, data fetching, web communication, service integration, etc, etc. And we also have other ones, like I said, user interaction, load memory tool, load artifacts tool. Please hold on. Okay. Oh shit. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought I was sharing my screen. Let me see. Oh, do I have to start again? Um, Share screen. Okay, okay. So I guess I have to start again. I forgot to share my screen. Damn. Where should I start from? Okay, let's start from template starters. So as I was saying, like, we have different template starters, right? Which you can go through. Let me hold on. Let me confirm that my screen is showing now. Um, let's see. Um, is my okay? My screen should be showing now. Why can't I see the messages? Messages are supposed to pop up. Yeah, that's better. Sorry about that. Let me see what you guys are saying. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, thank you. So I guess the let's see, we talked about the requirements for the hackathon. So we talked about that. We talked about templates and starter kits. So like I said, you can easily access all those templates from our GitHub repo, or you could use the CLI to get those, to download those starter templates. And I showed you the ones you could get from the CLI, which is the Discord bot, Huno server, MCP starter, Shade agent, SQL agent, and the rest. And then the one that you are not going to be able to access um, through the CLI is the X402 agent. So this is the only one you will not be able to access through the CLI. And all the links, I'm going to link them down in the description, and I will also be adding, dropping all of them in the Discord server. So if you are not yet in the Discord server, please do so to join it, because I will also be dropping the links there and other communications will be done there. That's our main communication channel. And then I talked about the CLI. So I talked about the CLI. So I said if you go to our documentation, you'll be able to see everything you need to know about the ADK CLI. So the ADK new, ADK run, ADK web, so ADK SAP. So ADK new is for creating new agents, to create a new code base. So you get to choose the different options of starter templates that we have. Then ADK run is for you to be able to interact with your agents, whether through the terminal. So if you run ADK run, it checks all the agents that you have in your code base and it lists them out for you. So you select the one you'd like to interact with. Or if you put the path to the agent, it will just directly go straight to that agent and give you access to interact with it. So where is my where are you? Okay, yeah. So this is what I was talking about, where if you were to run ADK run, because I have only one agent, it shows me that one agent that I have, and I'm able to chat with that agent through the terminal. So if I were to run ADK web, so instead of chatting with it via the terminal, it gives me a URL, where that URL listens to my local host on 8402. And this is it here. This is the interface where you'll be able to chat with your agent. So if you were to like type a message now, hi or whatever, failed to send message, try again later. Okay. So if you were to like send a message to your agent, you'll be able to interact with it. You send a message, it sends its own message, and like that, like that. And if you have multiple agents, it's going to list all of them out here for you to be able to select the agent you want to talk to. And we also have sections. So if you want to manage your sections, you want to view all the events that are happening, or you want to manage your states and everything. So you'll be able to do all of that through the UI interface. So let me stop it. Okay, stop the server. And then the same thing with the ADK serve. So once you run the ADK serve too, you'll be able to like get endpoints for you to interact with your agents. So then we moved to tools and MCP. So I was saying that we have different built-in tools that you can choose from, which is the Google search, file operation, shade HTTP request, user interaction, load memory, load artifacts. So if you come to our documentation, you'll be able to see all the tools that we have. And then if you want to build your own tool, so you could come to create tool and be able to like build your own custom tool for your agents. We also have MCP servers that you can use. So whether it's for Web 2 or Web 3, there are different MCP servers that you can choose from. We have Discord, we have ATP. So ATP is our agent tokenization platform, which I mentioned earlier in the video, where you'll be able to like tokenize any of your agents and share with your have your community to like have ownership of your agents and governance and everything. And the next one, let's see, which one do we have again? We have the near agents, which is near protocol blockchain integration with AI driven. We have MCP Telegram, MCP updates, MCP ABI. So whichever one suits your needs, just pick the one that you want. And if you don't want to use it, you want to build your own, you can also come to, let's see, come to MCP tools and look at how you can be able to build your own MCP server. We also have Agent King's MCP extension. Maybe you want to extend one of the MCPs that we have, or you want to use OpenAI tools, or you want to use third-party tools. So our documentation will help you to like be able to easily build whatever tools or MCPs that you want to for your AI agents, and so many other things too: sections, runtime, evaluation, artifacts, callbacks. So whatever it is you need, just go through our documentation. And if you have any questions or issues, just drop them on Discord. We'll be able to attend to you quickly. Or go to our GitHub repository and create a new issue for your request. So we also added something new, I believe, which is how to write your instructions. So for you to be able to have your agent work exactly how you want it to, so that it's not just be like consuming your tokens or answering questions you didn't ask or something. So you can just come here to see or learn how you can effectively write instructions for your agents. So whether it's role-based instructions, multi-agent coordination instructions, context aware, too specific, like, so there are so many examples for you to choose from and to help you, to guide you in how to write your instructions for all your agents. So what else again? I think the last thing on the agenda for today is tips for submission. Okay, tips for submission. What are the tips for your strong submission? So let's say you've done your project now, you've done your agent and you've tested it, everything is going fine, and you think you are done with your project and you want to submit. So if you want the judges to be able to like understand your what's it called, your agent very well. So let's see, you have to like, what are the judges looking for when judging your agent? So like I said, you have to submit your agent, right? Submit the link to the GitHub repo, submit a live demo, give a good description of what the agent does and how you use ADK-TS. So you have to ensure that it's the agent uses ADK-TS. Like, you don't just say, okay, just do agent builder dot run blah 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 blah, finish, and then you just leave it like that. That's maybe 20% of your code just uses ADK-TS. At least let's maybe like 50% of your code be using ADK-TS. So you'll be able to you want to see how well you use the framework, and then we want to see how creative you are with the framework and your agents. Does it solve real world problems? Is it a funny agent? Is it unique? And stuff like that. And then inside your demo again, how clear is your demo? From watching the demo alone, without us going through the code or visiting the live URL to test it by ourselves, can we really understand what your agent does? Do we understand the features? Do we see all the features? Can we see how you started from the beginning, from like logging in down to the ending part? Was the AI agent able to solve the problem of the user? How smooth was the communication between the user and the agent? Stuffs like that. And then when you are submitting your code, let your GitHub have a clear readme. So explain what the project is about, setups if I'm to set up the agent on my system locally, what are the steps I need to do? Do I need to install a particular dependencies or package? Do I need to set up my env files? What what environmental keys do I need? What API keys do I need? What websites do I need to visit to get those keys? So maybe you're using Google Studio, or you're using maybe what should I use? Whatever tools you are using, that requires API keys. So you drop like an env.example file where we'll be able to know what were the names of those env variable keys, and what link can we visit to get the keys. And if it's something that is free or paid or something, let's know. So stuffs like that will really help us to be able to understand your project and run the project on our system locally. And what else again? Record the short demo video. So which is, like I said, is really important. So the first thing we'll look at is the video, and then the code base, and then try to run it on our system like that. So all those things count to helping the judges really understand what your agent is about. And then as you are building your code, try to be committing and pushing to GitHub repository, whether it's GitHub or GitLab. And like I said earlier, your code should be done during the hackathon process. We don't want you to drop an existing project. We want you to build something new. And yeah, that's it. So, and if you are working with a team, also try to like communicate with your team members so that all of you can be on the same page, meet regularly, and stuff like that. And if you like, you could also share your updates on Twitter and tag us to it. So we don't mind, you might retweet you also. So I think that is all for now. Let me see if there are some questions in the chat that I might want to answer. Let's see. I've shared my video. Someone says they are interested in X402. Okay, so I'm going to drop the link on about it. So we created a new template. We wrote a blog post about it. So X402 is created by Coinbase, right? And it allows you to like be able to make micropayments on the blockchain, right? So whatever application you are building, whether it's an agent or is a web application or it's not a non-agent, so it makes sense. And all you have to do is just set it up on your application and connect your wallet to it. I think, let me remember. Yes, you have to connect a wallet to it. And then whenever your API, your endpoints hits, whenever your application hits an endpoint that requires payments, it will quickly, once it hits that endpoint, depending on how you set it up, whether it's going to automatically deduct the money for you, or it's going to give you a prompt to like make payments for this so stuff, whether it's for the, like for example, if it's an API, now you're trying to get access to an API, you would want to automatically allow the payment to go. But if it's something that maybe you want to ask your users first if they should approve or deny that payment before they can access that resource. So either one you want to do, whether it's to automatically deduct the money or you want to manually ask for permission first. So, and it's very useful for when you want to make tiny deductions. You know, if you want to do deductions with maybe with your bank or your card or something, it's going to be, if you want to remove $1 now, you see, and even with $1 sef, the charges might be high. You might be paying like $5 or just for charges or something, especially if you are doing foreign transactions. Like in Nigeria now, you want to do foreign transactions, they will charge you a lot of money just for little stuffs like that. So it's really helpful like that. That's it. So I'll add the link to our blog post about it and the link to the code base also for you to test it out on your own. So I think that is all now. There is no other questions to answer. So if you guys have any other questions, you can, like I said, come to our Discord server and drop your questions there. So I'll answer them. Our developers too will also be happy to answer any of your questions. And you could also go to our GitHub issues. Look for, if you have any issues or complaints or anything, you can just check to see if any of the closed issues solves your problem, or you can create a new one. And you can also send me a message on Dora Hacks, so I would reply them as soon as I see them. So thank you guys for attending our first workshop for the hackathon. I really appreciate it, and as always, I can't wait to see what you build. So bye bye. That's all.